Hey, it's Corey with Creative Roots Art. I am in the collaboration with A Common Canvas, and this is the Limited Paint Palette. So I thought this was a really fun one. So our colors are black and white, and then red, blue, and yellow. So here I am. I'm actually creating kind of like a brown. I really enjoy using brown. So I took my red and my yellow, a little bit of black, and my white. So you can see it has a little bit of a pink tone, which obviously with red and white makes pink. So, and I'm going to cover the entire canvas. This is a 16 by 20 canvas. So you can see I'm starting to get that brown tone. So I'm still just using those colors, which is the yellow, the red, which makes an orange, and then you put a little bit of black, and there you have your brown, and then, you know, white will make it that taupey tan color. So how cool. Oh, I did a lot of red. This is a Valentine based or just a love canvas, so there's going to be a lot of the pinks, pink tones. So I like to cover it with the paintbrush, but then you'll see I grab my paint tool or my palette tool and just do some really cool texture on it. I love texture. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you're enjoying all of us. Again, this is A Common Canvas, and our host is Jeannie with Jeannie's Palette. I want to thank Jeannie for asking me to be part of this. It's always fun to do a challenge. So I did add a little bit of blue to this as well. You might as well use all the colors, right? And you'll see here I'm going to dry this. And as I dry it, I'm still using or creating texture. So that'll be coming right up, and enjoy some music. Okay, so here I wanted to show you with that palette tool how I'm creating some really cool texture. I also use my fingernails, but I'm using the tool that is pointy on the end. You can get several different ones. I believe I got this one at the dollar store, but I like to do kind of like the scratch effect, and this in itself could be, could be it for your canvas. It's kind of like an abstract, and you can just keep adding and doing the same thing. So I'm, using that point. I like to use that palette tool in many different ways. So here I am drying it, but I thought it was worth keeping this on because see how I'm drying it, but I'm also using technique as I dry it. So, everybody creates differently, so I thought I would just give you guys, an idea of what I'm doing, and it may be something you'd enjoy doing. So we have a really pretty kind of like that purple hue coming out, and that was with my blue and red. So as I dry it, it does bring different colors out, and I just thought that was a perfect color as I am using this for like the love season. So here we'll go back to our music. Oh wait, no, I wanted to show you guys. Yeah, definitely. So here I am. I didn't really tell you guys what I was doing. So here is what is being put on top of that cool background. So it's actually an angel. I love to do people. I really love to do like detail. I do a lot of detailed faces, but here she's kind of looking down. So I use my white. I normally use white even if it wasn't limited. I usually use white to kind of like sketch the whole thing out, and then just kind of build up from there. So she's holding this heart. I've done this one quite a few different times. I just love it, and it comes out different every time, which is what I love about being an artist. Each piece is just so unique. Now you can visit my Facebook, which is Creative Roots Art, and I do have a pop-up store on there. So, and you can also just, tell me on here if you're interested in purchasing her. I do sell every one of my pieces, and each one I create knowing that it is for a specific person. So I love to hear, like, if it, if it's touched you in any way. So I'm just kind of, like I said, just sketching her out, and I use that yellow because I am limited. I just wanted to be able to see something immediately for me and for you guys as well. So she's not going to have that bright tone, but I just like to show you how easy it is to immediately see something. So there I am with that red and the blue, because we're doing like that purple base. And see how I just put it right on the canvas? I don't typically mix my paints. I do it right on the canvas, or I'll do it on my brush. I just dip a little in each color. So, and again, I'm using my fingers. I blend a lot with my fingers, but you'll see here, I also use that scratch technique, because again, I love texture. I love flow. I like my paintings to kind of speak, and I feel like texture really helps that. I was trying to avoid some dry time, so that's why I keep going over and over and over, because I didn't want to have to keep drying it with that dryer. But you can see it's starting to take shape, right? So she's beautiful alone. Okay, so here, for that flesh tone, I just used the yellow and the red and the white. That's all I used right now. This does have a lot of like a pink base, so you'll see me add even a little bit more of like the red, and then I put some white on there. See on the elbows, because that's where you're going to get some shading, where you see the bends. So that's what I'm doing here. And already, I mean, she's really starting to come together, right? Okay, so right here is some good shading. Now, I would typically be using brown, but because I don't have a brown on hand, well, you can see I am doing a little bit of mixing right there on the palette to create that brown, which all it is that red, yellow, and black. So, and like I said, I like to use my fingers for blending. So let me know what you guys think. You think this is something you would try? She definitely has shape. I like, you want her arm, right, to actually look like it's, that it has shape. So that's why you have to have some sort of shading to create that. And then I was using that white, not only for my base, but her dress actually is quite white. This is Pinterest inspired. It's not, I would never do exactly like that, but it definitely, I like to use it for like positioning, I look at it, like I said, even my very own, I've done a couple of these and they never come out the same. I do love embellishments. I didn't do it for this particular one because, it was just, we're just using those, I think 5 colors. So, but I did, after I added some embellishments, I used real white feathers and even added a little bit of texture. And so I did, if you look real close to her dress, I kind of did a little chopping motion with my my tool going the opposite way for her dress to give it a little bit of texture. And then I think we're going on to her. Oh, here's her wings. So, I mean, angels are so fun. I do so many different styles of angels, and this is just such a fun one. You could actually do a little bit of a splatter with this as well if you add a little more water. I put my palette tool right in my water, but that looks really pretty too, to have, just a little bit of a splatter. And this is, like I said, this is where I'll add some white feathers to it, maybe a little bit of baking soda, many different options. And again, make sure you comment and let me know if you're interested in her, and I can, tell you how you can go about purchasing her. I use PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. So just let me know. she's, like I said, I'm going to be building her up. If it's something that you may be interested in, when is this? This is January 2nd, 2025. Happy New Year. And I don't take orders for the same one, but you can always check and see. Like I said, Creative Roots Art shop, or Creative Roots Art on Facebook. I also have a shopping page, but just message me on here and we can connect. I can let you know. I probably will have others similar that I can show you, depending on when you see this. But I always sell my pieces. So I did add a little blue right there, just because, like I said, I'm just trying to use all of the colors, but really I wanted it to be more like a gray. So that would be black, and you'll see I add that in. You're going to take your black, and I have a lot. I keep adding white here, so when I go to add that black, and then you just do that scratching motion too, and make sure, like, if you're doing that on something like, like hair, you want it to go like the flow of how hair would be. You're not going to go up and down necessarily, because it's, she's got, maybe the wind is blowing. So her hair is, kind of like blowing in the wind. So just keep that in mind when you are using your tool to scratch with. That's another way to make sure you're getting the round or the flow. So see, I keep adding. I like to add white to the top there. Again, for that same reason, it really does make it look round, right? And then I always finish with a black outline. Every single piece I create, I just feel like that kind of like finishes it off. So, and it separates it from the background too, right? So, I'm just using my fine line paintbrush. And let me tell you, it is fine line. I get down to just a couple bristles and it works really good. So here's the black I was telling you, and you'll see. So it's, I didn't dry it, so there's still white there. So I use that to my advantage. So I put the black on, and then it'll kind of like just blend in. I love the color of her skin, just because it is like a Valentine painting. I just like those colors. Looks pretty. It's fun. It's definitely fun to experiment. And I hope you guys are enjoying this too. This is my passion. It's an absolute passion of mine. I paint full time. I do it every single day. And I do variety. I use the same techniques, but I have many different styles. I don't have just one specific. I like primitive, I like country, I like vintage, but I also love to do like shabby chic, or even like the just fun whimsical. So I'll use all of my techniques, and I do teach as well. And starting soon in this 2025 year, we will be having a group that has many, many different classes that you may be interested in. So that's going to be on our Facebook. Okay, so I added a little blue here just to make our background a little bit more crazy. And I do go back through and add texture to that as well. I love metallics, but I couldn't use that on here, but I do go back after and use my metallics. I have copper, just like your typical gold. I love gold leafing too, so that'll be added to her wings and maybe even some of her dress. So she looks kind of funky. She looks like punk, kind of like a punk rock looking hair, but she's fun. She's definitely fun. So I'm just adding a little bit of yellow, to highlight areas, and a little bit of white. Like the light is, where the light would hit it, right? But she was pretty simple, and these paintings go pretty fast. It's just a fun piece to have, and this is an 11 by, or not an 11, I'm sorry, it's a 16 by 20, I believe. So it's a good size. It's a good size, and we're just adding the black for some texture. And you can see I do kind of like a crisscross with my fingers, with my fingernails, and that adds some good texture. So I was trying to avoid drying it, so that's why I keep on doing the white like that. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this. And again, this is a common canvas, and this was our limited palette challenge. And it was fun. And make sure you check out each one of the collaborators in this group. Have a great one, guys.